Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Yes, welcome back. Many of us intrigued by psychic mediums, people who are able to connect with those on the other side, those who provide us with closure, compassion, comfort, answers. Can you do that on your own? We're going to find out. We're going to talk to an amazing psychic today, and she's going to go beyond the veil, which is what her website is, beyond-the-veil.com. And let's get some answers on this. Can we connect? She's our professional of the year. Kimberly Smith joins us on the program. Hey, Kimberly, how you doing?
Hi, Steve. I'm doing great. How are you?
Very well. Very well. Great to talk with you today, especially about this, because I feel a lot of us have a premonition, have a feeling, and then just kind of push it off to the side and say, it can't be. Do you feel that we all have some level of intuition, all of us?
Every single one of us does. Some might have it slightly more than others, but we can all develop it very easily.
Now, when you say that some of us could potentially have it more than others, is that because we're able to receive quiet the things around us so we can hear the messages? So, essentially, we all have a decent amount of intuition, if you want to call it that, but some of us are able to block the noise out and get answers. Do you think that's what's going on there?
I think for some of us, it might be easier because some of us kind of seek out quiet time. And what happens during that quiet time can be very significant. If you're not really in tune with these kinds of things, you may not even think about seeking out quiet time as a way to connect spiritually to your spiritual guides, to your loved ones, whatever it might be for you.
What you said there, the quiet time, I've found even in the past 6 months that I look forward to that time. And for me, it's usually when I'm laying in bed prior to going to sleep. I'll just close my eyes. I'm not sleeping, but I'm receiving, if you will. I'm connecting. I look forward to it, like a cup of coffee in the morning. I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes absolute sense. For people, I say to people who are not really considering quiet time to try it just once, and you'd be surprised what you experience, and you'll also find something very nurturing in it, not only for yourself, but it kind of helps you acknowledge things that are outside of the everyday. There is a spiritual component to each and every one of us. We are spiritual beings, and sometimes we forget that. Sometimes we may not even acknowledge that because we're so wrapped up in our day-to-day.
Take us through your journey when you knew that you had some ability and then you felt that it was getting more accurate. How did that go along? How did that work? What were you feeling? What were you doing?
Well, it came quite naturally for me, and it came after a series of events in my life, like traumatic events, at a very young age. The family component to this was there for me already. I had a grandmother who was extremely spiritual and who was also a psychic, not so much a medium, but a psychic. And taking you through my experience, I'll tell you what it's like for me now. There are days and there are times, just like with everybody, where you're off. You just don't feel yourself. And those are times when I seek out quiet time. It helps you to balance yourself. You may be feeling overwhelmed by events in your life. It may be your job. It may be family situations. Taking the quiet time is essential to peace of mind, but it also opens up an avenue to you that you normally wouldn't have, and that is spirituality. So for me, if I'm having an off day, normally I can just tap into my spirituality it comes very easy for me. If I'm having an off day, I go and I find some quiet time for myself. And the first thing that you do, and everybody can do this, is focus. And if you need to bring a photograph of someone that you want to connect with spiritually for this exercise, for the first time, second time, it's totally okay. Take a good look at the photograph, and then during your quiet time, close your eyes and visualize their face and stay focused on the image of their face. And what you'll begin to see is a white light, and that face will become clearer to you, and you'll get a feeling and a sense of their spirit. And that's when messages will come through.
Who should you focus on? Is it a loved one that may have passed away?
It might be that for you. It could be your spirit guide. You may be feeling like you need some guidance in your life right now, and maybe you really don't have anyone to give you advice or to turn to your spirit. Our spirit guides are always there for us. All we have to do is find quiet time and focus and tap in. And if you're doing that to connect with your spirit guide, just simply verbalize, whether it's in your head or outright verbalize, I need your help with this, whatever this is. And you will get answers. And I tell people, if it doesn't happen the first time, give it a second and third try. It will happen.
I don't know if I shared with you, but in the past month or so, I've, in my quiet time before bed, just laying there, I did what you did. I called out to my spirit guides. I said, please reveal yourself. Let me know you're there. Somebody told me that you can do that. And they've given examples of Archangel Michael coming through.
Yeah.
Somebody said that they told me that he came through, but he said his name is not Michael and gave another name.
It's probably a biblical name or a Hebrew name.
It sounded like, I don't remember, but I think, that seems about right. I didn't get any initial contact, if you will. There was one time I fell asleep, so maybe I missed it. But am I doing the right thing?
You're absolutely doing the right thing. Any angels can come through, spirit guides, angels. And when you least expect it, maybe you're not looking particularly to reach out to a loved one that has passed or a dear friend, but maybe they're reaching out to you. And if you can just quiet yourself, you can get messages from all of these types of entities.
I'll be honest with you. I do need an answer on something pretty serious, and I need it within the next week. Got to make a decision. It's my belief we have the answer inside of us. You just need to ask, and you'll get the answer. Your intuition, your gut feeling.
That's exactly right. That gut feeling. We all have the answers to all of our questions inside of us. The thing that gets in the way is our ability to trust our own intuition and gut feelings.
I completely agree with you. And I can think back, I've got decades of experience of denying that feeling and being wrong. And I knew I was making the wrong choice, but I let logic come into play. And I denied it. So now I listen much, much more carefully. Is it as simple as just asking for the answer?
Yes, it's that simple. It really is that simple. The fact that you recognize and understand that you have a history in kind of denying those feelings, those thoughts, that gut feeling, is a huge step in the right direction. Because what you're then doing now is giving yourself permission to trust those feelings. Whatever our background is, our upbringing, many of us have been told over and over again, the proof is in the pudding. You need this kind of, evidence. You need this. No, you don't always need that. The information is there. And if we learn to trust our gut feelings, you'd be surprised what the results can be. So for the first time, allow yourself to trust your gut feelings and to just go for it. And I think you'll be very surprised.
When you're doing readings, are you essentially doing the same thing?
Absolutely. I have to trust what I'm feeling. Every medium, every psychic has their own way to kind of understand the information that's coming into them. Some of us go with symbols. We see certain symbols. I'm not a symbol person so much, but a lot of others are. They see dollar signs, so they know that, we're going to be talking about money, whether it's difficulty with money or money coming in. There could be, and you can even set it up so that you make your own mind up what these symbols are associated with, and then that makes your ability to read.
Have you ever doubted something that's come through for somebody?
I haven't doubted. I've gotten some strange information where how am I going to explain this to this person? Because maybe it's, kind of a broken message and I'm not 100% clear on what it means. So then what I do is I take what I think common sense, it could mean this. I tell my clients it could mean this or it could mean this. And that's when I ask my clients to use their gut instincts. What do you think that it means? And I'll tell them what I think it means.
So it seems like you're getting them into the zone, if you will, and then they need to use their intuition to fine-tune it, with your help.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Wow. You do this for yourself? Like, let's say you have a decision to make. Choice A, choice B. Is that something that you're doing on your own to get your answer?
Yeah, I'm doing that on my end. What makes the most sense? What's my gut feeling about this? Even if my client really doesn't have a gut feeling, I will share with them what my gut feeling is, what everything is pointing to on my end. Can it be wrong? Yeah, but it's usually not.
Let's talk about, let's call it predictions or your vibe. Got a lot going on in our world these days. What are you feeling? What are you seeing?
Oh my goodness. We are going, the world is going through a major transformation. There's so much going on over in the Middle East. It is such a mess. But there's almost like biblical prophecies starting to come into light. And there's going to be so many changes. The way things are done administratively in our country in particular is going to go through a major overhaul. And it's going to be for the better, but there's going to be, it's not going to be like an easy 1, 2, 3 thing. There's going to be a lot of tumultuousness involved. There's going to be a lot of hitting back involved. Politics is an absolute disaster. And what we're kind of gearing up and preparing ourselves mentally and spiritually is for a very big change. And there are a lot of people out there that aren't necessarily online with these changes, but it's going to happen anyway. With the new president coming in, it's going to be a huge change over the next year or two. We're going to see things, we're going to see a lot of upheaval, but we're also going to see balance coming into play where there wasn't any. We're going to be seeing a lot of decision making where we were lacking that. It's just going to be a whole new ball game.
Are you concerned?
I'm not concerned. I feel like it's needed. I do have concerns, however, because I think the change is not necessarily welcome in every direction, and I think there's going to be some upheaval over the change. But I think it's going to be handled accordingly and appropriately. I don't know if you're familiar with that old phrase. What is it? Using an iron or using a velvet glove to lead with an iron fist. Something along those lines. That's what we're going to see. Yes, I am concerned. But it's nothing that will not be handled. But we're going to see it all on the news. We're going to see a lot of protesting, and we're going to see a lot of the younger generation really kind of reminiscent of like the 1960s. If you remember what it was like back then, it's going to be a similar vibe to that. The protesting that went on, young people looking for their rights, so to speak. I remember women were burning their bras. Their way of saying, we want rights. We want to be heard. We want to be seen. So it's going to be that kind of vibe. And we're going to see a lot of this on television. And it's really going to make for quite a bit of entertainment, but it's actually the truth of what's going to be going on out there.
Would you say it's sort of like a revolution? On maybe not a huge scale when we visualize a revolution, but people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a revoltolution is what we can expect. There will be revolting factions, and we're going to see all of that on the news. And the media is the media, and they will superfy it. You know what I mean? It's just what they do. As annoying as it is, people want to see it. People want to see this. Some people don't want to see it. Some people want to see it because they don't understand it. Some people want to see it because they do understand it, and they have their own thoughts and voices and opinions about what's going on.
What are you feeling inside to arrive at this picture that you have in your mind? Do you feel something inside?
Absolutely feel something inside. It's that, like you said, a mini revolution, or what I call a revoltolution. I feel that revolting inside that is going to come up. There's going to be a lot of he said, she said. There's going to be finger pointing. There's going to be, flag burning and, all this kind of stuff. It's just going to be an absolute mess to see on TV. I feel it very, very strongly.
Do you also feel that this is something that needed to take place?
It has to take place in order for change to take place. We would all like to make changes in our lives, and it goes, smoothly with no bumps. But that's just not reality. There's always going to be a revolting factor whenever there's change involved. And we're not talking small change. We're talking big change. We're taking what wasn't working before and doing everything in our power to make things work now. Whatever wasn't working before, whatever couldn't be negotiated before, whatever couldn't be ironed out before, it's a huge undertaking. But my feeling is I also feel that under this new administration, there are so many people that have been hired in so many different areas, categories, and departments that they really have a good handle on how to stand up and get things done.
Interesting. It's we got to sit back and strap in and wait for that change. I want to real briefly go back to when you're doing readings for your clients. Do you have to prepare before you do the reading? Are you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. What do you do?
Well, for instance, let's see. One winter, I had a home party that I did, and I had about 30 women that I was going to, present myself to and do readings for. I just went outside, and I sat on the steps, and I took some breathing, did some breathing, just taking in the nice cold air and releasing it and clearing my mind. You can also quiet your mind without going into a meditative state by kind of connecting with, for me, it's nature. Maybe for someone else, it could be something else, but for me, it's nature. I go outside, I take in some fresh breaths, and I just connect with nature. I notice the trees, and what I'm doing is I'm clearing my mind, and I'm making a blank slate for all the information that's about to come in.
So you're literally clearing your mind. And like we said, I guess what we said before, you're quieting the noise around you so you can receive.
That's right. And I don't even have to close my eyes to do that. For me, I'm able to go outside into nature, and it's usually someplace where there's a lot of trees or water, and I just connect with that. And that really kind of prepares your mind for just about anything.
Are there some people you can't do readings for?
I'll tell you what. I get people that are curious, but they don't believe and they don't want to believe. And what essentially they're doing is they're coming into the reading with a block. And I'll just tell them, I can sense it. I pick it up immediately. I feel a block. Why don't you tell me how you feel about this reading? And sometimes we can get past it and move forward. But there are times when people are really not serious about it, and they might be slightly curious, but they don't want to really know. They might have been put up to it by a family member or a friend, and it's just really not their cup of tea. Sure, that happens quite a bit.
Wow. If you have anything on me, and I know I don't never want to put anybody on the spot, but if you ever feel anything during our show, feel free. I have nothing to hide. And I welcome it. I'm excited about it. Anything that might come up, I put that out there. I put that into the universe.
Well, what I do have for you, Steve, and this comes out of two things. One, a feeling that I have, and two, evidence. In the conversations that we have had in the past, I think that you're a much more spiritual person than you even realize, and I think you have some abilities, to be quite honest with you.
I'm not going to agree with you just because we're here, but I agree with you. And and I found myself, even in recent times, like really searching down deep and taking stock in energy. I found myself having to distance from people sometimes where I just feel, and someone will say, well, why don't you're going to go, take care of that today. Why don't you just, I'll come along with you as company. I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm just going to go alone because the energy is too much. Like I need a break sometimes. Do you find that, in what you do?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so empathetic that it can be extremely draining to be around someone who is like what I call an energy vampire. Somebody who just kind of sucks the life out of you, and I can pick up on other people's energy, and there are some people that are just all over the place energetically. There are some people that are full of chaos inside, and you can pick up on that too. Sometimes you just have to say no and deal with things on your own. You can pick up that energy from people just by being in their presence. Somebody is, going through something or going through a lot, and you can pick up that energy. You can be around someone who isn't, and you can pick up a calming energy. Those are the people that you want to surround yourself with.
Mm-hmm. And, even the people that are necessary in your life doesn't mean they're sucking your energy, but we only have so much. It's like the tank in your car. So you're giving energy to somebody where you might need it someplace else. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is where boundaries come in, and you have to take care of yourself, and you have to put up some boundaries with some people. They may not even be aware that they're an energy vampire and sucking the life out of other people. They may be totally unaware of it, but you can feel it, and so therefore you will limit your time around these people, and decide how much you're going to invest. How much time you're going to invest in being around these types of people. Yeah.
You really need to take inventory. I really feel that way. And if you're feeling drained and just tough getting through every day, maybe there's a reason why. Maybe you've got something. Maybe you're empathetic. And side note, I'm the one that would call other people out. Like, do you realize you're empathetic? And that's why you're feeling that way. Until I realized, oh, that's me. I never dreamed it. I even took assessment tests, and it came back as the number 2 strength, with communication being number 1. Empathy, number 2 out of 34. Yeah, and it weighs on you unless you realize it.
And this runs in your family too. You said that your daughter has some abilities, and quite frankly, I think she's gotten it from you.
I don't have that answer, but I do know that she's got something because she's given me insight before, not knowing that she was doing it. It's when you start realizing it, it's super cool. The website, beyond-the-veil.com. Is that the best way to find you, Kimberly?
Yes, that's the best way to find me. I have a form on there, and you can reach out to me on the form with any questions that you have. If you want to book a reading, anything. I tell people, use that form, and I will get back to you immediately as soon as I can.
Love it. I just want to say one final thing here, and this is decades before we met, but 25 years ago, I was doing a morning radio show, had a psychic that just kept asking to be on. I said, all right, just come on. Okay, let's have you on. I didn't know anything really about her, but she was very persistent, so I had her on. And I'm bringing this up because of the things that you said before. About 7:30 in the morning, she said, there is going to be something of major proportion, major worldwide impact. It is going to be huge. It is going to change the face of our world forever. And just want you to be aware of it. That's what she said. That was 7:30 in the morning.
Wow.
A couple hours later, it was 9/11.
Oh, my gosh.
And she was right. So I bring that up for anybody that's skeptical as an example of the things that you said that we may be encountering. Nothing like that, but just the changes that are coming our way, and take it with some insight. Just because it kind of surprised me on that day, and I don't have any doubt in what you're talking about today at all.
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah. Just be prepared. You're going to see all kinds of stuff on the news.
Absolutely, Kimberly. Thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me, Steve. It's been great.
Same. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Adopt US Kids presents Multiple Choice Parenting.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes?
How could he do this to you? And for Sheila, she has split ends.
B, console her?
Oh, sweetie, this is going to happen a lot. 4, maybe 5 more times before you get married.
C, take charge?
Got to get this all straightened out. Give a little talking to, man to man, mano a mano. Hey, Steve! Is now a good time? No? Okay, no problem. Bye.
Or D, help her find a new boyfriend?
I know a great place to meet boys. The internet. Nice, single boys. Never mind. How about some ice cream?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.